All right. So what's the big secret? Hey, what the hell's going on? Where they taking?
Cyber-Punk 2077.
Sorry, kid.
Cyber-Punk 2077.
It wasn't part of our deal.
Hey there lads, how's it going? It is I, Mr. What's His Name, and today I have some news to tell you. Cyberpunk 2077 has been removed from the Play Store. What does this mean? Well, it means you can no longer buy it digitally, you have to buy it physically. Because, I still have mine, but virtually you can't have it, but you can get it physically. So in short of what's going on, PlayStation decided to remove Cyberpunk 2077 on the PlayStation Store because of how much of a fucking mess it is right now at the moment. It's a big buggy mess, and even though it is a buggy mess, I still kind of don't think it should be removed from the PlayStation Store, and a lot of people seem to be misunderstanding why it really shouldn't be, but I can understand why it's been removed. Other than that bullshit, let's go on with the topic. So yeah, Sony removed Cyberpunk 2077 on the PlayStation Store. And if you somehow don't know why when I just told you, lads, it's because of it being a buggy mess. And I explained it in a video that was actually not too long ago that I released. I'll show you a clip here. As you could clearly see, we haven't even gotten to the bugs and it's clearly not finished. It's clearly not done and needed more time. The slight second you start the game when you see that shit, you know the game needed more time than it got. It needed much more time. It needed another delay and all that sorts of shit. And I agree, the game needed another delay. It needed more fixing. Because this right here is not a fixed game. That's a buggy mess. And we haven't even gotten with the bugs. That's just the introduction of the game. We are starting to load in a save. Oh boy, it's a buggy mess. And thankfully, there was a patch to save some of the glitches, to help some of the glitches. But that doesn't mean the game is not broken. It's still bugged as shit. And yeah, because of how it's a fucking buggy mess, it's been delayed again. No, it's not been delayed. It's been removed from the PlayStation Store. And I apologize for my retardedness right there. I am fucking stupid, and I do apologize. But yeah, it wasn't delayed again. It was removed from the PlayStation Store. And let's hope CDPR does do more patches and updates. But who really fucking knows? They were just removed the thing from the fucking store. I'll show you another clip of the fucking buggy mess that is of Cyberpunk 2077. So believe it or not, during that clip, the entire fucking wall that you were seeing was gone, like non-existent. You are able to see the floor. And I decided to record it because of how my fucking PS4 is retarded, I can't get the full clip. But you do get to see a prop taking way too long to load in, so that's the only evidence I got. The game is a buggy mess and still is. The AI is not smart. Sometimes it's completely dumb. The overall ambience of the entire city is very dull. There's not many civilians out and about, not much traffic, and the NPCs can be very fucking dumb, and that's because of lag. Yeah, the game is of course laggy, but it really should. It's a buggy mess and it deserved another delay. It really did. And it really sucks that I'm seeing this right now before my very eyes. It's fucking stupid. How everything that seems to make the year better usually doesn't make the fucking year better. Cyber-Punk 2077 was meant to make the year somewhat fine, but now it's just a plain fucking... It's fucking nightmare. It's a fucking nightmare. Especially with how Cyber-Punk 2077 is, like, completely bugged and unfinished. The gameplay is good. The overall gameplay is fucking good. It's a very good game. If it wasn't for the fucking annoying-ass bugs, it would be a great game. But there's so much bugs that are in the way that it's a problem. Now, if it was normal small bugs, this wouldn't be an issue. But this isn't small fucking bugs. We are talking about major severe bugs here. I haven't even showed you much of the shit here. There's so many glitches in this game that could take hours upon hours of me talking about. Now, if you're a PC user, you are lucky because the game isn't as buggy, but it still is buggy depending on how good your computer is. If your computer is a fancy game meant to be computer, you're probably going to be fine. But if it's like somewhat old, you might as well give up, not even play the game, because you're not going to get the experience you want. The game is an overall buggy mess, and it's sad to see it, and it's fucking hard to say it, but it's a big, severe buggy mess. So apparently the glitches and bugs are so bad to where the Sony decides to remove the game entirely from the PlayStation Store. And I don't blame them. The game is a big fucking buggy mess. It's glitchy as hell, and it's very fucking easy to crash. There's so many fucking bugs and glitches. It's ridiculous. Now look, we all know the game wasn't going to be fucking clean. We all know it was going to run smooth. But the glitches are ridiculously too big. There's too many. And I don't blame CDPR for this. Well, actually, that goes a long way, actually. It's hard to say of what I think. The overall game deserved more time. The overall game is way too big and massive. And, well, that's why it's an overall big fucking buggy mess. I don't blame CDPR for the whole glitches and bugs and shit. But what I do blame him for is not telling us how big, buggy, and fucking glitchy this game is, because CDPR did not tell its audiences that the game is this bad, this buggy and glitched. The game is great, the characters are lovable, and the overall atmosphere, sometimes, is great. But with all the glitches and bugs and the unsmart AI and the overall unrealisticness of how fucking small you feel in the city, the overall map is massive. Don't get me wrong, it is a big fucking map. But with how many NPCs are in the streets and cars, it makes you feel like you're the only person in this entire fucking massive metropolis. It's bad. It's really bad. It's 10 out. It's on the scale of 1 to 10. It is 10 out of 10. Fucking bad. It is 9,000 out of 10. It's that bad. And it really sucks to see this, because I really want to love this game, and I do love this game. I think it's awesome, but with all the glitches and bugs to exist in the game, it needed more time. It's not ready. It is not ready. Now, if I'm gonna be now, let me just say, I do not regret getting the game. I pre-ordered it, and I do not fucking regret pre-ordering the game. I am glad and I'm happy to have this game. I am happy to pre-order the game, and I'm very, very... I am glad that I have the game. Very brainlet, but in all seriousness, I am very happy with the game. I'm glad I got the game. I don't regret pre-ordering it. But to say that it's a perfect game would be a long run, because first of all, there is no such thing as a perfect game, sadly. There will be no such thing. And secondly, even if the game was gonna be perfect, it is way too buggy and glitchy to be labeled as that, because it's not perfect. Performance-wise, it is not perfect. The overall story is awesome. The overall characters are awesome. I love the overall setting. But it's just a big fucking buggy mess, and it really sucks seeing this. So as per warning, if you are planning to get this game, I really recommend to not buy it at all, because first of all, you're not going to get it virtually. You're going to have to get it physically. And secondly, it is way too buggy. I just recommend not getting it at all until more patches and updates come. Because this game is not ready to, you shouldn't play it until the patches come. Because it's just a big, severe fucking buggy mess. And it really sucks seeing it, but it is. It's just a buggy fucking game. And I just entirely recommend not getting it until more patches and updates come. I don't say you shouldn't get it at all. I think you should get it, but if I were to say to get it now, that would be a lie, because, well, it is a big mess, like I said, like thousands upon thousands of fucking times. It is a big mess, and it needs more updates and patches before someone else decides to go buy the game. If you do want to get the game, by all means, you could go get it. But if you were to ask me if you should get it or not, like as a recommendation, I say wait. The game is not finished, so it's just best to wait. So some of you may be asking, is the game fun? And I would say absolutely, it's very fun. It's a very fun game. There's tons to do. You could drive around the city, you could fucking steal cars if you have the skills, or you could just do side quests, or even just normally explore the city with no cars, just walking around. There's a bunch of shit you could do in this game. But even though it's a fucking awesome game, it's just simply way too buggy to get yourself. It's way too buggy, and it's best recommended to wait until patches have been, more patches have came up, because this game is just way too buggy, and I feel like you should save your money until the game has been fixed, because, well, the game is clearly not ready. And even though I love getting it, I love how I have it right now in my hands, and I love how I am playing it, it still needs more time, and, well, CDPR didn't do that, and it sucks. Now, some may probably or probably not, most likely probably not, as nobody will probably be watching this video, may ask me in recommendation, do you recommend the game in a console or PC? And I say, definitely PC. This game is much more better on the PC. It runs better, and it makes sense since most of the gameplay we've seen through Cyberpunk are on a modern gameplay computer. Please excuse me for my retardedness there. It was all recorded on a computer, and that's why it was running well. So yeah, I recommend the game, getting the game on computer. It runs much more better, and it's just generally much more better, but it's gonna still be buggy, but it's not gonna be as severe. However, it's dependable by what kind of computer you have. Also take a note of that, because even though it's recommended to use a computer, I recommend using modern computers. None of the old computers, not like 90s shit. Don't take that out of context. I'm talking about like maybe somewhat old computers, like maybe 2010s, 2000s, like early 2010s shit. I recommend getting it on newer, much more like next gen computer shit, because this game is basically meant for next gen, because, you know, it's a massive game. And now that I've been thinking about it, we were supposed to be getting this game on PlayStation 4 this year and last year. If by what they were saying is true, and let's just pretend, just for a second, that COVID-19 did not exist at all, and we got this game from that release date, that would mean we would be basically somewhat fucked, since the game is fucking glitchy as hell. Because even if the game was released early, it's gonna be even more fucked than it is now, because it is a mess. So if it was to be released early and COVID-19 didn't exist, yeah, the game would be much more buggier and broken. So basically, sadly, in this situation, this game was kind of destined to be broken and buggy. I do love the game. I do love Cyberpunk 2077. Despite its bugginess and fucking glitchiness and how easy it is to fucking crash the game, I love this game. I think it's great. But to say you should get it is kind of hard to say because it's just simply way too buggy and glitchy to get at the moment. It's best recommended to get it after a few months or so. Who fucking knows? It could take years for this game to be fucking somewhat fine. Because the old consoles is definitely not going to be good. It's not going to be perfect or great. Of course it's not going to be perfect, but it's not going to be the kind of like good kind of way. It's going to be fine. It's not going to be like in next gen where it's actually very good to run. Unlike that, because you know these are old gen consoles, even though yeah, I just say you should get it when after a few months or so, because this game will take a long time for fucking updates. But who knows? That's just fucking me. And the whole point. And if you're wondering what the whole point of this video is, it's just to let you lads know that the game is no longer on the PlayStation Store. Oh, and also just to let you lads know, I feel like there's some comparing this over No Man's Sky and Fallout 76 and such. Let me just tell you, please don't compare those kind of those two games. The only things I could find similar is Fallout 76, and even then, that's not even as similar as it is right now. The overall problem with Cyberpunk 2077 is not because of its fucking low crew, its low company employees, or fucking the fact that they are a new company. It is not that fact at all. It's a fact they didn't get enough time. And even though Fallout 76 is somewhat correct, that's not even correct, as in Fallout 76 they use a small non experienced team, a non-experienced team. Unlike in Fallout 76 and Cyberpunk 2077, the people who created it of Fallout 76 shit are unexperienced creators, so it explains why it's a shitty thing, and also the fact that the engine wasn't updated. Why is Cyberpunk 2077 broken? The simple answer is they didn't have enough time. They were not given enough time, and they were simply rushed. And I would put the blame on the people who were saying not only were getting pissed off at them, but also sending death threats. I understand if you get pissed off a bit, that's understandable. But I'm talking about those who send fucking death threats. That probably made them to where they rushed the whole game. Doesn't make sense, right? Well, it actually does, if you actually been paying attention with what's been going on with 2020 and that fucking bullshit. But besides that, this overall video doesn't have a reason to exist. So I'm just gonna close this video out before I embarrass myself. I want to thank you lads so much for allowing me to waste your time, and apologies if you don't really like this video. But besides that bullshit, I want to thank you lads so much for watching. Have a good day.
Will not let that go.